myself like a puppy, but it's so effective. If every time you start having negative feelings, you say to yourself, oh, look, a negative feeling, and then you make the decision, do I want to jump on that bus or not? That's progress. You can allow those feelings to come, but you have to make that intentional choice and make the choice not to live there. Number 3, do not deprive yourself. Just think about how many diets talk about food you can't have. And once they tell you you can't have that food, all you do is obsess about the food you can't have. Well, the same situation is true for everything. If you tell yourself, I'm not allowed to have time to myself, or I don't deserve these brand new $80 shoes, you are reinforcing a negative self-belief, and self-care is the immediate cure to that. So do not deprive yourself. And sure, at first you might go way off the rails and spend like $150 on stuff you really don't need to try and make yourself feel better. That's not really self-care, but at least you're not in the far extreme of depriving yourself from the good things. But it's not things, it's time, it's energy, it's your positive love, it's your reassurance. Do not deprive yourself of the best thing you have to give yourself, which is your unconditional love. Number 4, remember that what you focus on multiplies. All right, it's really hard right now to ignore the negative, so give yourself a little leeway to feel not okay. You are drowning in negative, horrible end of days imagery and opinion, and everything right now that's coming at you is probably pretty horrible. And you have the choice of whether or not you want to focus on it and allow that to multiply like mold, or if you want to yank your attention away from that, whether it's Facebook, the news, an upsetting conversation, whatever it may be, yank yourself and your focus away from that and start focusing on the positive, on the good, what is going well right now. And it might be something really simple as, I have food in the house. I still have a job. I've got this podcast. You have to really start focusing on the petit plaisir, the little pleasures of life, and really amplify them. Because as you do, it starts to give yourself more leeway, more grace. You start thinking about the things you're grateful for. You start having gratitude for what's there and not what's missing. And in turn, it helps you to love on yourself better. Number 5, do something nice for yourself. And this is kind of a no-brainer. It seems like that's the whole point of self-care. But really, my friends, especially my new listeners who are maybe just checking in for the first time, the easiest way you can get started to feeling better about yourself is to do something nice for yourself. You know, if you want to have better self-esteem, do esteemable things. If you want to have more confidence, start putting yourself into confident power poses. If you want to feel better about yourself, start doing nice things for yourself. It could be as easy as getting a bedtime routine so that you're getting enough sleep. It could be as simple as challenging yourself to drinking a gallon of water every day and making that happen no matter what. It could also be something frivolous or outrageous like getting your hair done or going camping, of course, while socially distancing and being responsible. You have to do something good for yourself to feel good about yourself. And as you do that, it perpetuates. And that's going to give you that grace and leeway. Because again, you'll start to train yourself. Hey, I'm worthy. I deserve. I am good enough. And those become the default thoughts. Number 6, and so important, so powerful, one of the best ways to actually go easy on yourself and give yourself a little bit of grace is to remember that there is no need to justify or explain yourself. So when you say no to something and you're managing your boundaries and you're taking care of yourself, or you come up against a reason you feel a certain way, you do not have to explain yourself to anyone. Not your lover, not your mother, not your brother, nobody. You do not owe anyone an explanation for what you do and why you do it. The more you try to justify or explain why you're doing whatever it is you're doing, the more you reinforce that you don't trust yourself, that you have to offer up an explanation or a justification because what you're doing is wrong. When you find yourself justifying or explaining your actions, watch out for shame. We're going to have a podcast coming up all about shame. I think it's really important to dispel shame in order to get to the place where self-care is our default. So we'll be talking about that soon, but just kind of be on the watch out, right? Listen to yourself, your words, how you talk to people. Are you justifying why you're doing certain things? Or are you having to explain yourself over and over again? It's a good clue that you're maybe not on the path to self-forgiveness or going easy on yourself. Number 7, so what do? You get back up and try again. That is how you practice going easy on yourself, giving yourself forgiveness, and that's how you give yourself a little bit of grace, is that you just get back up and try it over and over and over again, whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you're like, damn it, I need to accomplish this thing before the quarantine is over, or I'm not going to feel like I did anything productive with my time, and I've got to be perfect and know 6 languages and lose 100 pounds, and I've got to do all these things, and I've got to do it right now, while all of this shit is going on. And you pick one thing, and you go for it, and you fail. Instead of being unproductive and beating the shit out of yourself because you didn't do it correctly, how about just get back up and try again? Whoops, that didn't work. That diet didn't work. That financial plan didn't work. That language system wasn't the one for me, whatever it is. But repetitiveness is so important here. Just get back up every time and try again, try again, try again. And number 8, when you're getting back up and trying again and again, you need to learn to forgive yourself quickly. So foot in mouth, forgive yourself. Forgot the keys, forgive yourself. Left somebody out of an invite, forgive yourself. You were late to something, forgive yourself. Double booked yourself, forgive yourself. Whatever it is, forgive yourself and do it quickly. The second you make a mistake, the very next thought should be, oh shoot, I should have done XYZ, but that's okay. Always reinsert that thought in every single time you find yourself judging or criticizing or putting yourself down because you didn't exactly match up perfectly to these impossible perfectionistic standards that you're probably holding for yourself. Because again, if you're listening to my podcast, self-care is not something that just comes naturally to you. Number 9, accept compliments. I swear I will find a way to squeeze this concept into every single podcast I do, I promise. Accept compliments, friends. Just do it. What others think of you is none of your business, but when they decide to share it with you in a positive way, open up and let that shit in. Because I promise you, if we're friends and I give you a compliment, I have probably been thinking about how to give you this compliment, how to best give you this compliment for a while. And how dare you take away from that energy and that love that I'm trying to give you by poo-pooing it away? Oh, I just did this. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, you don't have to say that. I hate that shit, and I want it to stop now. I want everybody today to accept any compliment you receive, whether you believe you deserve it or not. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. If you can't agree with them and if you can't get on the love yourself bus, fine. It's great here, by the way. We have mimosas. But if you can't get on this bus with me, that's totally fine. Just say thank you. Don't you dare bat it away. And number 10, how do we give ourselves a little bit of grace? You make self-care a habit. You make it a routine. You make it a practice. You put in intentionally what you're going to do for yourself in a journal today, and you follow through and you practice it tomorrow or right now. Even before this show is over, we've got a couple minutes left in the show. Even before this show is over, I want you to start thinking about one thing that you can do for yourself today to make self-care a habit. And I mean a habit like brushing your teeth, putting on underwear, whatever your habits that you do consistently are. I want self-care to become that mundane to you. Because if you can get to that magical place, and I promise you it's fucking magical, everything starts to open up. You start to problem solve differently. You start to communicate differently. You start to be compassionately in relationship differently. So it's extremely important. I want you to really think about ways that you can start to make self-care a habit. Maybe it's just subscribing to this podcast and listening every week. Maybe it's setting up a reminder to schedule the acupuncture or to get the massage or to sign up for the yoga class or do whatever it is you think that's safe within reason right now to treat yourself well. All right, let's run through that list real quick. 10 ways that we can give ourselves a little bit of grace. Number 1, don't treat yourself like others did. Number 2, allow the negative feelings. Number 3, do not deprive yourself. Number 4, remember that what you focus on multiplies. Number 5, do something nice for yourself. Number 6, no need to justify or explain yourself. Number 7, get back up and try again. Number 8, forgive yourself quickly. Number 9, accept compliments. And number 10, make self-care a habit. All right, friends, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. If you have a story you'd like to share and you want to be on the show, please email me. It's Kris, K-R-I-S, at selfcareissexy.com. Okay, we've got some really great content coming your way, so stay tuned. And remember that self-care is sexy. We're giving you permission to put yourself first.